Kellyanne, how's the weekend?
It was really good. It was chill. Some of my friends and I, signed up on Threads, and then we couldn't get off it. They won't let us delete the app without deleting Instagram altogether. We just signed on to check it out, and then we spent the whole weekend trying to figure out how to get off.
I've heard about it. It's like a feature you've activated. Like Threads is like a feature on Instagram you activate, and then you're stuck.
Yeah, I was confused because I looked at it too. I clicked on it again when I was in Norway, and they said that it wasn't available in the area. But I was confused that it was a different app, but then it was a part of it. So that whole thing has me kind of confused. It sounds like a bait and switch to me.
Well, bait and switch is certainly not legal. You can't do that. Yeah, it was sort of interesting. So I go on there, and all of a sudden I noticed, I activate. And it says you have 50 followers, then there's 100 followers, then there's 200 followers, then there's 300 followers, and then 500. And I'm like, what is happening here? And I'm texting with friends who are saying, hey, all that's happening is I'm getting a notice on you, you're getting a notice on me, and all your followers over on Instagram are rolling over, and that's all that's happening.
Yeah, it almost seems like if your followers on Instagram are going to sign on to Threads, then suddenly now they're following you on Threads as well. So it's definitely it's trying to compete with Twitter, but I don't know if it's gonna be able to do that.
Well, it's interesting. You were commenting about this earlier.
Yep. No, exactly. So I think it's interesting because the Threads is obviously Mark Zuckerberg's attempt to try to take on Elon Musk, because now he's a competitor with Twitter. And this definitely isn't the first time they steal features. I mean, first it was Snapchat with the stories that they took over. Then the big thing was verifications. As soon as Elon Musk mentioned that Twitter was going to do verifications, then Zuckerberg hopped on that. And I think the first week, I was looking at the numbers earlier, they did some 600 million in sales.
Well, that's right. Zuck does almost $750 million doing the same thing that Elon did on, hey, if you pay and we validate, because Instagram was asking for driver's license, they had confirmation of ID, they had all this stuff going on. So it wasn't just let's take your money, they were really trying to make it so it was a validation.
Yes.
But then Zuckerberg gets a pass while everybody's pointing at Twitter going, ew.
Yes, and in Twitter, the odd thing is Twitter, you get more features. You can edit tweets, you could post longer videos, you could write longer tweets, there's no limits. And the reach-wise, there's a different aspect in terms of the algorithms where you can get a further reach once you're verified versus not being verified. So Twitter, you actually have features that make sense, and you can unlock more in the app. Instagram, as far as I understand, you just get the verification and it looks cool. But Instagram is more expensive than Twitter, and then Elon Musk and Twitter was the one who got all the hate when Facebook and Zuck were just skating away doing their thing.
And now Elon has thrown a shot across the bow and saying, hey, what does he say? Competition is good, cheating is not.
Yes, he said, I'm all for competition, but copying and pasting and stealing is not. So I read some tweets that he's considered lawsuits and legal action, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. And what's also interesting is they were talking about that, it's all those people that Elon laid off are over at Threads working for Instagram. And then other people said, no, we were laying off people too. We didn't hire a bunch of those folks. So that turned out to be BS.
Yep. No, exactly. So,
interesting.